Oh, it's unboxing time again. Got my hot cuppa. This time, it's ResMed's AirSense 10 that's in the hot seat, or in this case, the hot table. As is customary with our unboxing videos, I'm going to unbox this baby and give you a few highlights of the unit, talk you through the various bits and pieces in the box, and help you get everything in the right place for your first night of sleep, including setting up the mobile app. So stay tuned. Well, hi there, I'm Ruben from RespShop, the place for all of your CPAP needs and information, serving our good CPAP community since 2008. We do educational content on YouTube, so subscribe for more of that goodness. And we also put content out on Instagram and Facebook, so see the links in the description for those. And you can hop over to our website, RespShop.com, for any CPAP equipment or supplies you might need. Now, on with the show. The AirSense 10. What a faithful machine that this has been. It's been on the market now for a long time, but it's still been so reliable and popular that it remains a contender for even new users. Once people realized that the warning that comes up telling you that the machine needs replacing was just a timed warning with no bearing on the machine's performance, lots of people have stuck with it and got many years and have got great sleep out of this machine as well. The fact that its price is still on the upper end for CPAP machines shows that it remains a very popular choice, even if it is shaped like a triangular prism. Now, in this video, it's not a review. Instead, this is a helpful get you started video. So let's open up this box and see what's inside. What do we have here? Heated tubing, power supply, water chamber. Living dangerously there, Ruben. Please don't try that at home. Smells like new. Okay, so what do we got? We've got 6 things. The machine, we've got the water chamber, we've got the climate line tubing, a power supply, travel bag, and documentation. Well, this is just the climate line documentation. Here you go. The machine documentation. Our CPAP machine is the main device that everything else is going to plug into. So get that out first, and then you're going to grab your power supply, which comes in 2 parts. We'll plug this figure 8 into the back of the brick. This goes into your wall outlet, like so. But we're not going to plug it in to the back of the CPAP unit just yet. We're going to set everything else up first. So I'll stick this here for now. Next up, the water chamber. That's this hard plastic container that's going to slot into the side of the machine. But first, this needs to be filled with distilled water. That's going to prevent leaving mineral deposits on the inside of your chamber. So you open the chamber up at the hinge like I did just then. You're going to fill all the way up to the max line. I have a little tip that I have a container that's exactly the same milliliters as the water chamber. So I know I'm hitting that max line perfectly every time. Once you've done that, slot it into the side, and that part is good to go. You know it's inserted properly when you hear that satisfying click. Now the installed heating plate will warm the water up in this chamber and add moisture into the air you breathe. Now, that's an important part of your therapy as it prevents your airways from drying out and it allows your lungs to absorb more of the oxygen in the air. Now the AirSense 10 water chamber is a good size and it can often do 2 nights when you fill it up to that max line, depending on how humid that you put your settings and the humidity of the atmosphere where you sleep. You may find that you do need to fill the water up every night, and if so, no worries, it's quite normal. Tubing comes next. Now currently we only ship the AirSense 10 with climate line tubing, which looks like this, but it is possible that you might have slimline tubing instead if you bought it elsewhere. If that's you, no worries, the setup will actually be a little bit easier as you don't need to have to think about lining this electrical chip up with the slot in the machine. But we would also recommend getting a climate line tubing if you don't have it, because it does really help with comfort and oxygen absorption. Now, if your tube cuff is purely circular, like this one here, this is ResMed's slimline tubing. It'll look like this, and it can't heat the passing air. You have to have the climate line tubing here that has these metal coils around it in order to be able to do that. So for the slimline tubing, just grab either end, and you're going to push it on this, rotate this onto this circular outlet, on the back in any direction that works for you. Now the slimline tubing leaves this machine straight on, so it can be a little bit more tricky if your machine is positioned close to a wall, as it needs to kind of bend back on itself and over the top of the machine to your mask, and it also ends up putting more pressure on the slimline if you have it really pushed up against a wall. So I'd recommend leaving a bit of a gap there if you can. So I'm gonna take this out. Now the climate line tubing has this right angle, which makes it better for tight spaces. So to attach the climate line tubing, hold the cuff this way around so that the chip is at the top. Then you're going to line this up with the slot on the back of the unit and push it in until you hear it click once more. Now, once the cuff is in place, the elbow joint can actually rotate around like this, which is really helpful because it makes it much easier to get the right position for your mask and gives you a much greater flexibility in where you put your machine on the nightstand. The user manual that ships with the AirSense 10, it's important for reference, but we don't need it right now, so just make sure you keep this somewhere safe. I'm gonna slip it back in the bag where I got it. Speaking of the bag does provide a nice option if you want to take your machine traveling, and it can carry your machine and the various accessories all in one place. Also has a little bit of extra room for other accessories if you want to throw that in here. But if you do find that it's a bit bulky for your travels, there are travel CPAPs that are made for such occasions that are far smaller and lighter. Again, we won't need the travel bag right now, but put it somewhere in case you need it later. So there we have it. With this like so, and this plugged in the back, our physical side of our AirSense 10 is ready to go, except we're missing our mask. Now the AirSense 10 doesn't ship with a mask because there are many types of CPAP masks to choose from. There are standard sizes, unique sizes, all for different face shapes and different use cases. So if you haven't bought one yet, then at RespShop, we offer a 30-day mask guarantee where you can return masks for full credit within 30 days, even if you've opened and used them. So you can try a couple if you've never used masks before to find the one that really works for you. Okay, now let's turn on your unit by plugging it into the back. Your supplier should have set the machine up with your therapy settings already per your prescription, so that part of the machine should already be good to go. But you'll also want to connect your AirSense 10 to ResMed's MyAir app so that you and your health provider can have easy access to your sleep data and help make the most of using the machine to get the best night of sleep that you can. So I'm going to turn this around, I'm going to move the camera over this side, and we're going to walk through the setup together. You'll need a smartphone for this next part. It can be an Android or an Apple, either will work just fine. This goes in the back, like so. Now, if you didn't already put one in, we have a message here that says no SD card detected. So we want to add an SD card, which is this little slot on the side. Open that up, grab an SD card and throw that in there. You can buy one of these ResMed branded ones on RespShop.com. Slot that guy in, close this up. Once your SD card is in, we're going to spend most of our time on the MyAir app to get it connected with our new unit and get everything on its initial setup done. So have your App Store open if you're on an iPhone, or the Google Play Store if you're on Android. We'll jump right on in. So we're going to search for MyAir by ResMed. If you start typing, it'll pop up like this. Just click on that. Make sure you're downloading the official one. Hit download. Open it up. If this is the first time that you've opened up your MyAir app, which it likely is if this is your first CPAP unit, then you're going to want to create a MyAir account. So we're going to hit get started and we'll walk through that process together. We're going to select that we have a PAP machine. I have a therapy machine and I'm ready to register it with a MyAir account. Next. Then we're going to put in the device serial number and the device number. You can find those on this label on the back of your AirSense 10. I'm then going to select this machine from the list showing on the app. Now, if the app has you on the equipment tab, you can scroll down to where it shows you your mask options. If you haven't set up a mask before on the app, it'll take you through this process as a first-time user. I already have a mask on here, but it's not the mask I'm actually using. I'm going to be using the ResMed P30i. So I'm just going to grab my climate line tubing here, attach it to this mask. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the app and hit update mask. App's then going to ask me what brand of mask I'm using. I've got ResMed, hit continue, then select your mask from the options on the list. Now this isn't a fully extensive list. There might be masks that aren't in here. If so, you would just select either a full face, another nasal, or another pillows. The P30i is in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and select that and hit done, and then press continue and done. Now we're all set up on the MyAir app. They're connected to the machine. It knows what type of mask we're using, so it's going to adjust the pressure from the machine based upon how much pressure there is going to be when it enters our airway. So we're all set up and good to go. Some other tabs that you'll see on the MyAir app include dashboard. This is where you would get a score nightly based upon how well you slept. It's kind of a gamified experience so that you can try and improve your score to help you sleep as best as you can. And if you want more detailed information, you can use third-party software like Oscar. We've done many videos on this and how to use this software to really dial in to make sure that you're getting the best sleep possible. Now, once you're set up like this, you are good to go. The app may have prompted you to ask some questions about your CPAP journey so far, and it's up to you whether or not you want to input those answers. If you do, the app is going to check on you for the first 30 days or so, making sure that you're getting the maximum usage out of your machine. The only other tab worth mentioning on the app here is history. This gives you a snapshot of things like your usage, the mask seal, the events per hour, and the like. And the more you use the device, the more you'll get accustomed with this, and you'll be able to see how your sleep is performing for you. Okay, well now that we have the machine completely set up and we've got it connected to our phone, the last thing left to do is hit the sack. Looks like I finished my tea just in time. So get comfortable, then simply press the on-off button at the top of the unit to start your therapy. Of course, there's far more to come from your CPAP journey, and we're always on the end of the phone to help along the way if you need it. But for now, forget about the future, strap up your mask, fire up your machine, and as always, friends, sleep tight. Goodbye for now. Thanks for watching. If you've bought from RespShop.com recently, then leave a review right on the product page. Any review with 10 words or more enters you into our sweepstakes to win your choice of an AirSense 11, an AirSense 10, or an AirMini CPAP machine. You can enter up to 5 times each sweepstake, so get those reviews in and good luck.